Hello, my name is Tim Lahili, and in this video we're going to be talking about redactions in Quincy. We're going to show you how to draw redactions. We're going to talk about redaction reasons, stamps, and burning in redactions. One assumption I'm making going into this video is that you've already reviewed how to do tab productions, because ultimately there's no point in doing a redaction if you're not going to produce it into a production. But if you have not, I recommend you watch that video. We're going to basically assume that knowledge here. So let me hop into the product and show you about redactions. I already have a case open and I already have a document selected and I'm in the PDF viewer. All those things have to be true in order to do redactions. Once you're in here, it's quite simple though. This is the redact menu, and you can come once you have that selected and just draw a redaction. And if you want, you can use a redaction reason. I'll show you how to set those, but we'll go ahead and see this one says Tim and this one's nothing, right? So it's as simple as that. That's how you draw redactions. You can click on these and move them around so long as you haven't ultimately burned them in. So these are all still movable if you didn't get them in the perfect spot. So let's go ahead and now save the redaction. We're hitting it right here to save it. Now, saving the redaction is different also than burning it in. So let me toggle off of this document. Let me make sure I know the document is 16. I'm going to toggle off of this document and I'm going to toggle back on. And you can see this is still movable. It has not been totally saved. I mean, it hasn't been burned in. It's just been saved. If we want to burn in a redaction, we go ahead and click on this, if you will, this lock number, this icon. So if I click on this, I'm burning in the redactions. And fundamentally, I've changed the underlying PDF now. So there's going to be no ability to move these in the future. So let's go ahead and click on this and click back. And now it looks like you can move them, but you can't. You can't get underneath. You can sort of copy it and replicate it elsewhere, but you can never sort of get rid of this redaction. You'll never be able to see what's underneath it unless, of course, you restore the original PDF. Now, ultimately, if you want to produce this at this point, having the document where we want it, we go ahead and create a tab production, which, of course, we're sort of not going to do here and assume you know how to do that. All right, let's talk a little bit about redaction reasons. Redaction reasons come in really handy and are sort of a key part of most people's workflow. You'll see when I clicked on the redact text area, it offered me the option of no reason or Tim or Bob. Obviously, Tim or Bob are silly, sort of not redaction reasons you'd be using. So let me show you how you set those. You go into the admin widget. You go into configure and then viewer. And here you see where I've defined the redaction reasons. No spaces, just whatever text we want. We can do confidential, comma, and then important, comma. And you can have spaces in the redaction reasons, just, actually that's not really even relevant, but, and we can go, I don't know, test. And we save that. And now when we go back to the viewer, these are going to be our redaction reasons. So let's do that. Open our grid, open our viewer. Click on redact, redaction reasons. Oh, excuse me, let's refresh, silly me. Let's click off of this and let's click back on. There we go. Confidential spelled wrong, important, and test. So that's how you set the redaction reasons. You can set them however they want. They're not done per case, though, mind you. They're done per application. So you'll have the same redaction reasons across all your various cases. All right, let's quickly talk about stamps just for a second here. We have this stamp capability, which also has the ability to set up, these are the default ones, but the ability to set up stamps. And let's go ahead and just click a stamp, and since we had selected approve, it's called approved. We can, do any number of different again, we can set up whatever stamps we want. We want rejected. We're happy with black. Rejected. Boom. And we can go set those stamp reasons same way we did the redaction reasons right here, and here's where we set our stamp reasons. So Bob, Tim, time, Frank. Click save, and those would become our stamp reasons. So that's kind of all I wanted to show you about redaction. It should be pretty straightforward, should be simple, and hopefully gets you where you need to be. If you have any questions, feel free to post them to the message board, and I hope this was helpful.